Hello, this is Busker's Bagels video on making Hollandaise sauce, and also we're going to make a very special Eggs Benedict today. And this is a very special Hollandaise sauce. I learned it in a gourmet restaurant years ago where I had to make it every day, and I had to make it so it wouldn't break, it would fall apart, the oils wouldn't separate because it would set out for the cooks to use throughout the whole shift of making dinners for everyone in the restaurant. I'm going to tell you how to make this sauce. It's a very special sauce. Let's get started. So we put the butter in. All right, I'm putting a whole cube of butter. What we're going to do is melt this all down, just cooking it very, very slowly. Don't let it burn, but we're going to get it all melted to the point where all the little sediment goes to the bottom, and all we have is pure butter on the top. And we call that clarified butter. When butter burns, what you're seeing is the sediment actually burning, and that's what's burning in the butter. We separate that, and now the butter will cook at a higher heat, like a regular oil and that. So that's what you use in French cooking along with wine, is clarified butter. And you'll see what that is in just a second. All right, so it's cooked for a while, and as you can see, there's three layers that make up what we have right now. We want to get rid of the top layer, and we're just going to skim that off. You could strain it. You could skim it, as I'm doing. You don't want to get too much of your butter out. Now, clarified butter, I'm sorry. We're getting down to this beautiful oil that we can cook with. Why am I doing this? Well, the very top and bottom, these are the impurities. I said, what is an impurity? Okay, milk solids, Some people like to keep what I'm skimming off for something else. I have never done that. I get rid of this stuff. Now, you can also see on the bottom of the pan, there's something else that's fallen to the bottom. We don't want that as well. So we can strain that out. Okay, so we're going to start with a metal bowl. Some people make it with copper. I originally started making it with copper, but I like this better. And let's get started with the yolks. You're going to need yolks. Now, I'm just making enough right now that I can make one dish. We're going to make one dish of Eggs Benedict. So we're going to use 3 egg yolks. And we'll move this out of the way. And the way to do this is not by doing eggshells to eggshells. You're going to go like this. We don't need the whites at all. I'm throwing the whites away. Some people, if they're going to make something else with a dessert, will save the whites someplace else. We do this all in your hands. It happens fast. There's this membrane that you see there. We are going to very carefully pinch that off. We don't need it. And there on the other side, there it is. If it breaks while you're doing that, no problem. Just go ahead and toss it in the bowl right away. We do this with all 3. Right. I'm going to use a little bit of lemon. People are asking, how much lemon do you use? Well, this is a thing where you're going to go on your site. I'm only using 3 yolks. I'm going to use a little bit less than half a lemon, and this was a small lemon. This is all going to be something that you decide, your own tastes. It's better to go a little bit and not too much, because later, after we make the whisking and add the clarified butter, then you can go to your taste later. We're going to put a little splash of white wine in here. Okay, a little bit. We can always add more later. And just a little dash there of Tabasco. A little pinch of salt, not too much. A tiny bit of oil. I'm using olive oil. A tiny bit. You can use regular oil, it's fine. And there it is. It's kind of this watery looking thing. And we mix it up. And now we're going to make our Hollandaise sauce over here. I've got some water that's going. All right, we're going to put it on this one. There we go. We've got some water that's already hot. And this is a poacher. And we have these nice little cups that will go in and poach eggs later, and it gets covered. This is a nice way to make poached eggs. We'll get the water going pretty hot, and we're going to start whisking. Why don't you do it directly over a flame and over water? You don't want it to get too hot too fast. Your arm might get tired after a while. I used to make this in this restaurant, and I was a bluegrass fiddler, so it was good work for my fiddling arm, because I played fiddle really fast. Compared to the other cooks, my arm never got tired. As you get closer and closer to getting to the right consistency, and we want it to peak just a little bit. I'm going to raise it a little bit, because it's getting a little hot. If you cook it too much, if you get it right past the point where we need to get it out of there, what you'll have is scrambled eggs. We don't want scrambled eggs. That will be a different video. Scrambled eggs. This is one of these kind of dishes where you really gotta not stop whisking. You gotta keep doing it. All right, see what that looks like right now? It's kind of peaking a little bit. You can see it's kind of building up. That's what we want. So you see that? See how nice that looks? That's what we want. Fire off. Okay, let's go over here. All right, now we take our clarified butter, and this is our clarified butter. It has no impurities in it, and we are going to stir it in. You ask how much? We're going for consistency. It's still very, very hot. You can see that. I had the mitt on before. It's very hot. So I'm going to put that glove back on because I don't want to burn myself. It's still not quite the consistency I want, so we add a little more. Thick. And thick is good because I want to see how much of the other ingredients I need to do. So you taste it. I need some more wine. I need some more lemon. This is all up to you. A little bit of salt. Now I'm going to change the bowl out because it's really hot. We don't need any more whisking. And this will be our sauce bowl. All right, so we're going to add a little bit of white pepper. There are a lot of people that will use on the top their, you know, some kind of pepper like paprika or cayenne. So this is Austrian ham, and this is a very special ham. It's a country style ham. It has a special taste to it, and we're going to heat it. We're going to heat it on this. Now this pan that I just put this over, this is a poaching pan. That's what we're going to use to poach our eggs right now. As soon as the eggs are poached, we're going to then steam our ham across there. We don't cook our ham. We don't need to cook it because Now I'll take some taste out of it and change the consistency. So let's go ahead, turn our flame up. We're going to make just enough poached eggs for one dish. A tiny bit of clarified butter. And there we go. Ooh, those feel nice. Yeah, perfect. All right. Turn off the flame so I don't burn myself like that. And that's the one thing with these, is that you can scoop them over there to the side before you take them off. If you put your hand over the open one, you can burn yourself like I just did. No big thing though. All of us cooks are used to very high degree and stuff. So I didn't actually burn myself, just warm. Turn this back on. The reason I'm turning that on, I want to steam my ham. So let's get rid of that. There we go. This Austrian ham I'm using is called Landschinken in German. It is from the Italian Austrian border. And that looks perfect. All right, here we go. Oh, you can see it's dripping, its juices. And that's one reason we don't really want to fry it. It'll make it tough. Steam it. Oh, it smells wonderful. Okay, let's just place this on the side. We're going to take these little beauties, dump it on. See how pretty that is? These are really nice. My mother gave me these as a gift. It's a beautiful poach to have. You have perfect poached eggs. It's steaming, it's hot. We have our Hollandaise sauce. We're going to put just a little bit over the top first. That will cool the egg just a little bit. But we're going to go for the whole deal here. Yes, nice. Make it look pretty. Go over all the sides like that. Oh yeah. And there you go. Eggs Benedict. Enjoy.